thank all of you guys for playing in the Fresh Prince of Bellevue. He got in one little fight, and his parents got scared. When they tried to send him to Bellaire, well, he wasn't going, because, frag that. That place is no fun. So they hired a bunch of Shadowrunners to send him to Bellaire.
And then he got in one little fight with us, too. It didn't end well for him.
No, it did not. So yeah, no, that was the reveal. In that, like, I always kind of say Shadowrun is everywhere in your daily life. I know that there was a quite a while where people would use the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme to prank people. Like, they would call up. You ever watch those terrible late night TV shows, helplines kind of things?
Yeah.
And they would proceed to roll through as much of the theme of the Fresh Prince as they could. I just took that idea one step farther and made you guys kidnap Will Smith.
You totally rickrolled us.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily to prank you guys. It was to demonstrate that you can find inspiration everywhere in your daily life.
I will never be able to watch an episode of that again without thinking about this run.
I guess that's good.
Although, I mean, on the show, Will never did as much drugs as you'd expect somebody who lives in Bel Air and is on the party circuit to do.
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty sure
this guy does.
TV.
This guy did.
Yeah. So you guys will get the full, I think it was 25,000 a person.
Minus expenses.
Yeah. And whatever of the 50K that you guys had left laying about. Lark can go ahead and roll me a d4 for that question he asked me, and I will give him that answer.
Hello?
He might not be back yet, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
I'm seeing this large list of expenses on the Roll20 thing, and I'm wondering...
Why?
I've been keeping track.
Is that... So what do we actually have rolling in here?
What is that Automotus DMG?
Automotive damage, I'm horrible at spelling.
The giant 50K over top of it doesn't help either.
The car that was
shot up.
Yeah, I see.
So, 50K minus your 17,350 in expenses. You have that money. You have your 25,000 apiece. Let's go with, since it took so long, let's go with 7 karma. Yeah. Lark and Nyx will get a point of public awareness.
So it's an extra 5,441. So we're each getting 30,400 and actually 30,000.
Did you divide that by 6 or by 4?
6.
By 6.
All right. If somebody could just write the rewards out on the table so that I can give them, I don't forget.
Yes. Somebody please who is not me, because I hate trying to type on the table. So it's 442 cash and 7 karma. And I'm going to work for the people.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you do that again? Could you say that? Working for the people, working for the man. How exactly does that work again?
You simply get to exchange 2,000 new yen for 1 karma, or 1 karma for 2,000 new yen.
What are the shares again?
Up to a maximum
of 5 or the run reward. So, like, if you only get 3 karma, you can only do it 3 times.
Whichever's great, smaller, whichever's less.
And then I'll just kind of open up to anything you guys want to ask questions about. Because that's why we are here. Obviously, you know where I got the inspiration for how things were going to go down. It worked out great that the violence that I decided he was involved in was your guys' fault.
Yeah, that was pretty nicely tied up.
It's like, oh yeah, no, he just happened to be there, and he ended up in jail, and quickly got out of jail because, I am rich. I don't actually stay in jail.
I'm wondering how our Johnson ties in.
What do you mean? The guy that hired him? That hired you guys?
Yeah.
It was could have been the father of Rufus, could have been just another business partner of Mr. Banks that, was there. I kind of forgot. I didn't know how far down uh, the racial divide I wanted to go with the whole. Oh, that's right. The Banks are black. Whoops. Um, but we never really got into his skin tone because it wasn't really important. Um, but the idea that I had originally was that he was going to be the father of the target to just kind of like kidnap him. It's like I'm going to hire some people to get my no good son who won't listen to me to go live with his uncle.
And was the little guy actually doing Matrix combat with our Matrix support? Was that
Uh,
really him?
that was nobody. That was some random asshole who lived in the buildings nearby. Like if you had looked for what he was searching, he was totally looking up porn.
Nice.
Like he was just some random dude making illegal copies of porn. And you were like, I'm gonna mess with him. I'm like, okay. And then who knows, he may show up later. Last session I had Nyx roll a singular d6 because Rufus had Novacoke in his system. And you're introducing a second drug, and then it rolls on the drug interaction chart. Nyx rolled a 1, which doubled the duration, which is why at 10 hours he was still dead.
So, like, what would have caused him to like die? Could Nix have rolled something that would have like flat out killed him?
So it depends. I think there is one of those options that like doubles the amount of damage you take or something along those lines, which could have done bad things or maybe doubles the crash effects. Thankfully, Nyx rolled the one that was both highly amusing and not actually lethal. He does have like, let me look at my paper here. He has 6 boxes of physical on him, so you did kind of come close to killing him. Like that was 100% a legitimate thing that you could have done. If you had just driven along and not pulled over and stopped and just hit him again after like 5 hours, you probably would have killed him. Because he took like 2 boxes of physical on the second one. And he took like 4 on the first one.
You should never be too careful.
Yeah. I'd be like, well, you guys killed your target. Enjoy not getting paid, being in Cal free, and, well, notoriety.
Having a rich
came with
person
it.
angry at us and they have resources.
Yeah.
They could spend that 125k to have us killed instead.
Yeah. Which would have been,
Like, here's
most unfortunate.
125,000, kill them, and they also have 50,000 or so on them that you can have.
Just make sure they're dead.
I squandered a couple of my edge with his comlink earlier. I never should have tried to attack it or data spike it. I should have just done my normal routine because I don't really have any cyber combat, and that was a waste of.
You should have stuck to one idea or the other because you started off trying to data spike it and then you changed tactics and then it's like, all right, let me do something else here. It's like, okay. And
well, the problem is data spike is only viable to me if I pre-edge it. Otherwise, it's not. And I was hoping to take him down with 1. And when that bounced off, I was like, my regular data spike is just going to kill me. Like I won't actually ever be able to spike. That was the mistake. I should never have data spiked him. I should have just gone for double marks and formatting his drive. because those that plays to my strengths. I mean, it's a lesson learned, but the whole thing would have been less stressful for the checkpoints if I had had a little bit more edge. But
there was a lot of things you could have done differently. Like on the whole, the jacket idea was a really good idea, but then the execution there wasn't great.
Well, you rolled like a beast too. Like, I mean, that was one of he knew something was up when he really shouldn't have. Like, because you did roll like a beast.
I think it was because like when Nix tried to convince him to put it on, I believe I beat him in that seduction roll because she was trying to like
you beat him in the seduction roll, and then he cast control thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but even before that, you beat him in a seduction roll, and you also rolled really high on the to find the motivation. What is it that I'm looking for?
Judge intentions.
Judge intentions.
Judge intentions. Yeah, you rolled a really high judge intentions, and you out seduced him. Like your social dice were crazy.
I don't remember what I judged his intentions for.
It was like Will Smith has some kind of magic about him.
Right.
Yeah, he's a very charismatic dude. Will Smith is.
It was like he was the star of the show.
And
if we had known it was Fresh Prince, then I would have said, fuck all that, trying to out charisma him.
Right? You'd have just gotten hit with the memory eraser, and that'd have been it.
Yeah, we would look at this flash.
I should have made him a magician with the alter memory spell, and just have him wear suits all the time. He'd just be the Men in Black and just.
I want to ask. We had this plan in the middle of the run about using the aircraft, a private aircraft.
Yep. If you had gone and talked to them in person or like through shadowy connections, they totally would have been able to fly you.
Yep. I had a
that's
feeling.
Called experience.
And it would have been easy. I think though we just had like if somebody's got a really cool car and this is the only option they're ever going to get to like use the really cool car, like I can understand the emotional attachment to wanting to drive. Like I get that. It would have been easier if we had flown, but
Oh, there was you guys could have called up Hernando and been like, "Yo, do you know any smugglers?" And he'd been like, "Yeah." And then you guys could have worked out the deal with the smuggler, and you guys wouldn't have had to worry about all of the border crossings and stuff. They could have smuggled a couple of you guys down, and the rest of you guys could have just drove like normal people with nothing illegal. It would have cost you some more
but
New
that wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah, and on the plus, I get to learn more things. Like my biggest goal out of this whole experience is to get a good solid hold on Fifth Edition Matrix, and I think I learned a lot in this thing, and I think I understand the Technomancer better. So I got good stuff out of it.
The what should I call it? It would have been a trade-off. You would have gotten less Nuyen, but your risk would have been significantly less because you paid these smugglers to do the heavy lifting for you.
I mean, we're trying to jag this jacket off this kid while we're delivering him. We're cheap as hell.
That is true. I mean, I did just hand you guys like 30 grand, and you're worried about like $500 for a dose of slab.
We're not in for the slab. We want the equipment that we put in that jacket, the injector.
And excuse me, it's 4 doses of slab. Thank you very much. That's 2,000. We can't turn that away. That's what I spend in a month to stay alive, man.
We're gonna turn around and sell that slab on the market, get some of our investment back.
Hell no, I might just want to take a nice long nap. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, you guys are. Well, here's a question: are you guys going right back to Seattle? Or you guys want to hang out down here and get up to no good?
Well, I want to hang out and get up to a little bit of no good.
Okay.
Actually, it might be a good idea if we can get some contacts in Calfrey. We might
I want to
actually
go to
be
Vegas and gamble because I've got 5 edge. Why wouldn't I want to go to Vegas and gamble?
So, do you have any gambling-related skills?
Or gambling-related skills.
They would be like knowledge skills, depending upon.
Damn it! I don't on this character. I was like, yes, I do, but that's Teak and I. That's my face for Runner Hub. She has casino skills.
You guys just got a bunch of karma. You could go and learn a little bit of gambling. I have mechanics. that I made up for a run. I did a run where the object was to uh, kill this old dude. The prime opportunity to kill him, there was a private illegal card game that the Johnson was able to supply you with an invite to, and that would be the best way to because in that situation it's the dealer and the players, and that's all that are allowed in there. All of the security have to wait out in the room. Like, he'd have been alone by himself if you could come up with a way to do it without, or you could go through his security. But I have mechanics based around actually gambling, because the base pay for the job wasn't a lot, but the invite could, you put up 50 grand, you could win 200. So it was just kind of like, if you guys want to make a bunch of money, you can make a bunch of money, but
Judge intentions through the whole thing.
that was involved.
There's a 10 cap on working for the people, right?
Five exchanges or the run rewards. So you could exchange 10,000 New Yen for 5 extra karma.
Okay. Oh, whichever one's smaller. Okay, so
I'm a rigger. I'm taking all that money.
Yeah.
Got to get that money.
Gotta get that money. I got.
Wait, we can't get 7 karma because we got 7 for the run.
So you're going to get 7, and it's going to be up to 5, or the run rewards, whichever is lower.
Oh, I
So
think
max will be 12.
So I still have all kinds of money, and I don't really need money. So I'm totally going to go gambling in Vegas on the way home. That's going to have to happen.
Well, my thought was if we stick around in Calfrey or that'll be Vegas' and Ute Nation, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
If we stick around down here, we could probably get a job that'll pay us to go home. If we can make the right connections.
Yeah, but that's just it. We're not in our home turf, right? So we don't have our apartments. We don't have our friends. We don't know the streets. Like, I don't know that I want to pick up a new sideline and trying to become a Shadowrunner in Calfree just so somebody will pay me to go home. We got paid a lot.
Why don't we call our fixtures and ask our fixtures to call someone here?
That is something that you could work on.
Good.
But under the situation,
I spread my rep around like a crop duster.
Just gonna sow them wild oats.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay.
You listen to Twitch chat, the Shadowrun team that's forming up, Rasselbro, Pawn Hacker, and Fresh Prince.
Oh man, Rasselbro, he was so good.
Well, they can't form up now because Fresh Prince is down here in Calvary.
This is true.
Unless Rasselbro and Hacker Dude make an extraction.
It was always really interesting to see how you guys were going to deal with the social aspects of this run, and you dealt with it by running straight into its face. Right? Suddenly a selfie is one of the most dangerous things that could be happening. Can't imagine how that happened. Goddamn selfies.
We're paranoid people. We're Shadowrunners.
Yeah.
I just had this idea that we're going to get back home and there's going to be a job waiting to extract this guy because they want him back. We're just going to be kidnapping this guy back and forth forever.
He sees us again. No! Immediately, Yellow River running down his pants.
If you guys had talked to him instead of just drugging him up again, he would have offered you money to not kidnap him.
Not as much.
Yeah, not nearly as much.
Maybe. You don't know how much. I don't know how much. It would have kind of depended upon how the dice rolls went.
Still would have been bad rep.
It's true. But man, would it have been a lot easier.
And less fun.
So how was my crossing the border plan?
Not bad. The scanner's just gonna be like, yep, no, nothing here. And as long as you guys didn't do anything goofy and you didn't screw up too bad, there probably should have been a matrix perception roll to have you hide from them, just because they're going to be scanning. It's like, is there anything with a attacker sleaze rating in our immediate area, especially after the ones where there was an alert, where you attempted to intrude and that kind of thing. That was probably my bad for not making you do that.
Well, that was only the last one,
Yeah, that's
and
probably the other reason I didn't.
and it was the sprite. It was the sprite, and I made him go away. So, but if they started doing perceptions, then they might have seen my mark, and they still might have blown us.
Maybe.
How hard would it have been if we had like not done the matrix out and just like ridden on our fake sins?
Well, here's the good news: is they did all still scan your fake sins. So there is a record of them driving from Seattle to Cal Free.
Is there because the thing I wanted the guy to do, I said, was when ordered to scan, instead of scanning, say all clear. So my thought was that we weren't even getting scanned. Like the scanner was he was hitting the button and it was going boop clear, but nothing actually happened.
I like to think of it like, do you ever play Papers, Please?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's a
Always
game
wanted to
about.
try that.
What's that?
It's a pretty good game. Yeah.
It's a game about border crossings, and like the guy comes up to the border and it's like papers please, and then they hand over the papers. I imagine it kind of like how like the scanner hits a button, scans to say to take a look at the area, be like okay, boom 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 boom, rather than just like because it was an all clear thing where it didn't display any information at all. You could just drive through it like an easy pass. Where this is like Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, Mr. Pink.
Why do I got to be Mr. Pink? It sounds too much like Mr. Pussy.
You just went straight from like Men in Black to Reservoir Dogs.
It's funny how that happens sometimes.
Ooh.
Yes. Similar
Let's just
outfits.
not go to the ending of Reservoir Dogs in any of our runs.
We can talk to the other two guys and see what they want to do. If they want to grab a job in Cal Free and try to work your way back, or if they want to just kind of zoom through it. You guys.
I want to rob a casino.
I mean, if that's something you guys actually want to do, we can put together a casino robbery.
We don't
I
have
would
11
love-
guys.
We don't need 11 guys. I would very much. I'm just saying, like, I've never done it. I would love to, and we'll probably get caught and we might all die, but I would love to rob a casino.
You know,
That
that's
would be
something
fun.
that's something has always gotten to me. I've been around on the community a lot. I've never heard of anybody actually just setting up a heist. It's always go to the Johnson and get a job. It's never like, hey, let's just go rob some people. It's basically the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing without the additional
Having to deliver
backing.
anything. Yeah.
The group too. Their most recent job was to sort of poison a brewery.
Sort of poison.
Yeah. The job was, here's a box of chemical. We want you to add it into the closest vat you can get to at the brewery before bottling. And turns out this chemical is some kind of like aggression booster.
Oh.
And it was like a natty ice or a real shit beer that was marketed towards like or control youths, and they were totally hired by a bunch of racists.
Isn't that straight out of one of the books? Only it was a cola,
No, it was an energy drink.
an energy drink. Yeah.
I don't know. It may be because it is a run that another GM in my early Shadowrun days ran for us. It was based out of Chicago, so I stole it from him. I don't know if he ran it based on one of the books or if I'm just kind of.
It was from Core, and it was an energy drink, and they were supposed to change the formula or something, and then it went sideways, as it sometimes does.
Yeah, I want to say that might have been the 4th edition book, though. Not, I don't
Oh,
think
yeah, you're
that was
right.
even 5th edition. I think that was either the 4th or the 3rd edition book.
Oh man. But the troll in that group had recently goblinized, and prior to that, he was a horrible racist. So, in setting up the job, I was like, Grog, who's one of the people you used to run with? And he gave me a description. It's like, that guy is sitting at the table in a suit. He is your Johnson. And it's just like, oh, man. So now they've completed the job. They didn't put the murder chemical into the beer. They put a bunch of cram, so it would still be kind of like something weird was going on with it. Um, but now they're totally going to plan to murder him.
Who? The Johnson?
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes on Wednesday.
Well, nobody ever said that being a Johnson was free from the dangers of being in the shadow world. I mean, you mess with the wrong people, you're going to get shot just as much as we will.
True. So we'll see how that little bit of his backstory stuff goes. And since we will have some time between the next time we officially sit down, I will perhaps sit down with Kiimi and do a little Vegas gambling action.
Nice.
Let's see how.
I'm down for robbing a casino. I can provide Overwatch with drones.
I
Although,
didn't
I'm
necessarily
kind of
mean
out
like
of my element. For what?
I didn't necessarily mean like a robbing a casino type thing, because that's a lot more work. But like, if he wanted to go and just gamble, I would be happy to destroy his money.
I'm wondering if Resonance Veil works well on slot machines.
So,
There's a
probably
reason
not,
people are afraid of Pac-Man.
because you would need to mess with the thing. And if you thought the border crossing matrix security was bad,
Yeah, I'm actually. So the one thing about the Technomancer is right. Everything is all perfectly good unless the other side has a Technomancer, in which case they know all the crap you're doing and everything falls apart fast. I never, in my wildest dreams, would think that a border crossing might have on pay staff Technomancers, but I'm pretty sure the casinos would.
not only would the casinos probably have an on-staff technomancer, they also have rooms that aren't on the blueprints.
I mean, they're probably all, at this point, run by the organizations, the criminal organizations, so every shady trick in the book that you could pull, they are pulling it.
If they are not run, they are definitely, almost assuredly, related to.
Well, today they're all run by the corporations, and those are pretty shady individuals.
Yeah. You just
They tend to do things by the book, though. The criminal organizations, though, they'll pull every single trick out of the book. Ours, theirs, everybody's.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to try it, and you wanted to try and hack it, I would let you roll those dice.
I'm just wondering if Resonance Veil would work on a slot machine. I'd have to go to some really like the Hooters casino or go to somewhere down on Fremont, like one of the ancient crap ones that couldn't afford a Technomancer. But then I probably wouldn't win much either. Although I would get a nice steak and lobster tail dinner.
I mean, you got to remember, there's all kinds of ways that Technomancers can be employed. Like, perhaps this is what happens to Kiimi, and that he tries to gamble this, and then he gets tapped on the shoulder by a large man in a suit, and suddenly he's no longer allowed to leave, and turns out that he is now working for the casino. Because they have put a bomb in his head.
No, if I'm gonna go gambling, I'm just gonna go gambling on my 5 edge in Merit.
Sure. I will comment that the gambling that I had statted out was involving cards, not slot machines.
Yes, I figured. And I've got 11 memory dice and 8 judge intentions and 5 edge. So, not knowing what your things are, I would say that those were good stats in general to want to go play games of chance poker against people. But maybe not. I don't know. To be continued. We will definitely discuss.
Yeah. And then we'll talk a little bit about.
By the way,
God.
does anyone have a doctor as their companion or some shit? Oh, sorry. As their contact. Like a street dog or something?
I don't.
Nope.
Anyone in the party?
Great. Next street dock we go to, we're going to have to be really nice to.
What did you need to get from a street dog?
I want to basically get muscle toner. level 4. I
Just
have the
ask your
cash for
fixer
it.
to hook you up with a cyber clinic. That's what
Then
they're
I'd
there
be
for.
You can
maxed out on agility. That would be pretty fun.
you can call Handles. He'll hook you up. I'm sure.
I mean, that's what I remember. That's how I got my shock hands, right? And I suddenly remember that I don't
Handles
have
is not
a
around.
handles around, and I don't have a street doc or cyber. I don't know the contact name.
I asked this already before, but what was the final total for our shares? Because that kind of went past real quick.
30,441.
Yeah, 441, 30,441 each.
And 7 karma.
Yep.
Cool. Doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I'm
That's
probably
another
gonna.
thing that's so tempting, right? Because I took the 5 karma extra, and now I'm debating between getting extra edge or putting more points and like other skills. It's so hard to decide because they all seem so good.
I can't help you with that.
All
So-
skills do not seem good. The first thing that you want to tell anybody in making an RPG character is always specialize, and specialize as hard as you can, and then only then branch out.
And it kind of depends upon
Because as everybody else is going up in experience and levels, that they're specializing and need to be able to keep up. The GM is going to have to adjust the challenges for that.
I mean, Shadowrun's a bit different in that, for the most part, it will. There are no level appropriate zones. There are no challenge ratings to encounters and stuff.
Point.
So I'm guessing there's really no point in doing additional submersions, right? I mean, other than Skinlink, the echoes are kind of underwhelming.
Getting a free paint editor is kind of nice.
Paint
What?
editor.
Yeah, I think it's like. I don't remember what it's called.
Let's see.
It's fight or
Pain
flight
editor
filter.
cultured. You're talking about pain editor cultured.
No, I'm talking about the Echo that gives you a paint editor.
I don't see it. It must be in the
It's data
Matrix.
trace.
Yeah, let me bring that one up.
There you go. I posted it into the thing.
Okay. Okay, paint editor 460.
But if there's something else you guys want to get involved in, or gear you want to roll for or whatever,
I don't think so right now. I don't know. The plan that I was going to do with my money is now rendered moot that we have 2 riggers. So, because I was going to get the McFly spy and a little cheap controller with some rating 6 auto sauce for clear sight and whatever the stealth one is, and then tag a machine sprite to it to permanently live in it to be my cool eyes in the sky. But again, we've got 2 actual riggers, so money's mostly
I have
useless.
4 mini drones
Yeah.
and another drone that they all stick on to. I think we're good for spy drones and combat drones once we get back home.
Oh, I don't know if this is actually that good because it says while it's active, the paint editor increases your willpower by 1 and decreases your intuition.
yeah, but you don't take any wound penalties, and you stay conscious with the full stun track.
Yeah, but it's basically it wouldn't make any sense to turn it on until I had already been taking a long beating. But I guess then if I'm already taking a long beating, it could save my butt.
It
Because
also
dropping my
works if you
intuition-
get shot.
That is a thing
Nice.
that can happen.
but it won't be always be on, right? It'll be I have to turn it on, turn it off thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll consider that. I might just
Oh,
get
yeah. I think there's
skills.
one thing I have to roll for.
What's up?
I originally had Fresno fabric in my armor, but I had to take it off because it was 14 and I didn't notice. It was 14R.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Fair roll.
bounce.
I'll
Thanks,
see you.
Rob.
Yep.
Nice,
I will
guys.
talk to you guys throughout the next 2 weeks.
I've
You go ahead and you can roll 12 dice, and I'll
Well-
I'll roll some dice against it.
Oh, cool. Kept my roller stuff set up. Good stuff. Roll it out. What?
Sorry.
Okay.
Maybe in a little bit.
That's like a glitch. No. Yeah.
No. It's only the number of ones.
Alright, yeah. That's almost as bad as a glitch. One success. Ah. No, I thought a glitch was if your ones are more than
Mm-mm.
your successes.
Nope.
Oh. That changed. Wow, that was really bad. Why was it 12 dice anyway?
Well,
Not
do you
complaining
have a what contact would you like to go through to get it?
Prob. Okay. Yeah, probably my fence. That was a
That's
3-2
his guy.
contact.
Alright, you can go ahead and roll 8 dice.
Okay. What? No, you know what? Never mind. This is not my night for rolling dice.
It just so happens that, denying people is always my night for rolling dice. Alright then. I will talk to you guys throughout the week.
Okay. I'm gonna compile a better list of things I need to roll for because it's gonna be. But probably just gonna drop most of this money into Percheron, however you pronounce that.
Yep.
Fun little truck with a dog brain. I was trying to pad out the time so I can get a clean 2 minutes and 45 in here.
Sure.
30
Alright
seconds.
then. I'm gonna hang up.
All right. Later.
See. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Fresh Prince of Bellevue.